Before I get into my thoughts about the Boston Celtics and how I feel about how the series is going so far and how the Knicks are playing like New York Knicks basketball at its finest, before I get into those points, I must say that the playoffs this year have been some of the best NBA playoffs I've seen in quite some time. Like the playoffs have been good from round one. The only bad series of these entire playoffs thus far has only been, the Cavs versus the Miami Heat. Other than that, everything has been contested, everything has been contentious. I mean, it's just great basketball all around. No series is a down series. So if you're an NBA fan, you're getting every dollar worth right now when it comes to the playoffs. So as a fan, yeah, it's nothing I could really complain about as far as how this playoffs is going. And given how certain teams are performing now in this second round, Celtics, Cavs, who freaking knows who's going to represent the East in the finals ultimately, and who really knows who's going to represent the Western Conference in the NBA Finals? Everything is really kind of still up in the air right now. There's no real definitive favorite. I know everyone will say, "Oh, OKC, OKC." Look, Denver is going to be a hard out. If anybody who could beat OKC, it's Denver. And right now they're proving it. They didn't match up very well with them the other night, which I'll get into. But they still got they one victory out of OKC. So the series is a series right now. So that being said, let's get into the Celtics and the hot garbage mess that we seen again. I mean, what can't be said that already hasn't been said? Like, these guys are really underperforming to their highest standard and potential. We all know that. We all picked the Celtics to mollywop the Knicks because they've done it all season. However, maybe we kind of overlook things. It's safe to say that now, given the circumstances and given the certain position that the one team is in and the other one isn't in. Right now, the Knicks are up 2-0. They went into Boston and took those victories. They took them. You got to give them credit. You got to give the Knicks credit because the Knicks play one speed all the time. That's one thing about a Thibodeau team. They're going to play one speed all the time. He's going to grind his team out, and his teams or grind your team out. It's just the way he coaches. It's the way his teams perform. They're scrappy as hell. They never quit. You have to kill them in order to beat them. And it's no different than how things were in those old Chicago Bulls days. Trust me, I know I'm a Chicago Bulls fan. So I know all about Tibbs. So that's all you're getting in New York right now. You're getting the perfect Tom Thibodeau system, essentially, with the right players and the maestro himself, Jalen Brunson, able to just orchestrate everything. Everything is working out. This team, people forget, this team was built to beat Boston. It was specifically built to beat Boston. Why do you think they made the trade to get Karl Anthony Towns? Why? They needed the big so they could stretch the floor. And it didn't really come to fruition during the season, but later in the season, it started to work. And what I mean by that is that last regular season game when they pushed Boston into overtime but came up short, we overlooked that. We all overlooked it like it was just, the Knicks came up short again. No. Because the first 3 games, they got mollywopped. They was blown out. It was just no contest in those first 3 games. But that last game, they pushed and they almost won that game. I watched it. And it's something you put to the side. It's the Knicks. It's the Knicks of the Celtics. Celtics now have beat them 9 straight or whatever it was. It was something ridiculous. at the time. But now, in retrospect, looking back at it, we overlooked it. We may have overlooked that last season game that was in overtime. We may have overlooked that because now they're playing the same way they did in that game in these first two playoff games in Boston. It's the same thing. That's what I said. They won speed. They're consistent. They're going to grind you out all game. And the incredible thing about the Knicks, in closing on the Knicks real quick so I can jump into the Celtics, the really cool thing about the Knicks is that they understand how to play in spurts. And the even more impressive thing is it seems like they don't get tired. These guys are built to play 40, 45 plus minutes a game. They're built to do it. Every time I keep saying to myself, this is unsustainable. You can't do this. This could backfire. They could tire out at the end of games. None of that has happened so far. In fact, the Celtics look like the tired team at the end of quarters. Now we pivoted to the Celtics and their hot mess asses. These guys can't finish quarters. You go up 20 again in game 2. And just like game 1, like it was Groundhog's Day or some shit, you blew the lead. Another 20-point lead. And yet again, no one can hit a shot. It's like it's 2022 all over again with these guys. It's like they've reverted back to the old Celtics. You know, and it's sad to see because this team could truly be special. This team could have been a repeat champion. Now, we're not going to throw the towel away immediately, but they up against it. They are truly up against it. I don't think they can beat this iteration of the Knicks 4 straight. You know, so that's saying, hey, if you beat them 4 straight, that's 6 games. But I don't know if you could do that. At best, you're going to have to beat them the next 3 out of 4. So you're up against it now. Now, the thing is with the Celtics that can't be ignored is that they are an excellent road team. In fact, they're actually better on the road than they are at home. So it wouldn't surprise me if they turn the series around in New York. It wouldn't surprise me. However, it wouldn't surprise me if we see the same Celtics moving forward. It's something about this Celtics team that looks tired or defeated. Like every single end of quarter, they look tired. And it just looked like they just, like I said, the Knicks just grind them out. They grind them out, and the Celtics just look like they are gassed at the end of these quarters. Thus, the flat-legged shots. Now, again, when you shoot, I don't know how many threes now. They've shot in, I think, over 100 threes already. It's only been 2 freaking games. They've shot over 100 threes. And they've only made, I think, 35 of them or less. That is ridiculous. That is the recipe of how you lose championships, how you lose playoff series. It doesn't matter who you go against. If you can't get the ball in the ocean, you're dead. So they are up against it against the New York Knicks. Knicks, man, they look good, man. They look like the Knicks that play hard every time you see them play. It's interesting. We see the Knicks do very well as seeing the Pacers do very well, which I have to touch on really quickly. The Pacers are playing out of their minds as well. That's another team. Those are like 2 carbon copies of each other. Those 2 teams have this Heat-like mentality, like where they say, "Oh, play like a Miami Heat player," basically. Like those teams play like that. They're scrappy as hell. They never quit. And you have to kill them. You know, of course, figuratively speaking, you have to kill them in order to put them away in games. They're just not going to go away. And I'm foreshadowing it already. I mean, Cleveland Cavaliers are dead in the water. They last game they had their best two players sitting on the bench. And I don't know how that's going to go moving forward. You're going to need all of those players to beat the Pacers moving forward. So it looks like it might be a New York Knicks and Indiana Pacers Eastern Conference Finals. I can see Reggie Miller and Spike Lee hugging it out on the sidelines now. I can see Denzel Washington and all the big time New York celebrities alongside the court. It could be really interesting to see it. It'll be a hell of a series as well. So I don't know, just foreshadowing down the road. Let me know what y'all think about these past two games with the Pacers and the Cavs, and more importantly, of course, with the Knicks and Celtics.